What is going on, blockchain? This is Nick from TruthBlitz here with CryptoBlood. We haven't done a video in a while, so it was long overdue. What's going on, bro?
What up? What up? What up?
You know,
Not much, man. Another day, hopefully another Satoshi.
Exactly. Exactly. Man, looking at the market cap, we really got to some new highs overnight and still climbing. We're closing in on that 68.88.
Yeah, where are we sitting at right now?
Right now, 66.31.
Okay, so after this video, I will be moving out of my position and into some altcoins. Personally, no financial advice, but that's gonna be my move.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, I saw it at like 6,600 hovering around there this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I might have to do the same thing. I don't know if I wanna go all in with my Bitcoin, because it's not very clear if the 40% pullback that Cliff talked about already previously happened, which would be the last pullback.
Yeah, so he actually put out a tweet yesterday or the day before stating that he believes that the 40% retracement already occurred back when we had the China FUD and then the Jamie Dimon FUD. So he did put a tweet out about that. So
okay, I missed that one.
That's what made me say, okay, I'm gonna pull out here and then look for some support areas to get back in, because remember, I don't know really how I'm going to play this really, because we got the split, the hard fork coming up this month. So I don't know if it's better for me. I don't have much Bitcoin, so I don't know if I'm going to take what I have and just reinvest it into some of the crypto assets or what, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how I'm going to play it either, to be honest. I mean, I don't have a ton of Bitcoin either. I like to be diversified, and I'd like to have at least a little Bitcoin. So
that's why, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. If I'm just gonna. I mean, I've been trying to grow, my holdings in a couple things, Pillar in particular, and that we've talked about that. I just like every day I'm adding a couple thousand more or more anyway.
But I was telling someone in the Webbot chat room the other day, I said, why risk losing your current gains, right? Why risk losing that for an additional 10%? Like if it overshoots and goes to 7,000, 7,200,
right?
What's the point of trying to eke out another 10 to 15% when you're up? I'm up almost 100%.
Yeah.
From low. So yeah, just you gotta let that greed go, and think with some sense.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I'm not sure. I might. I mean, I already had put a lot of my Bitcoin into Litecoin a while back, and I'm not sure how I'm going to play this. I mean, OMG is looking kind of enticing. The last price I saw for it was let's look at what it is now. Yeah, I mean, shoot, we're down at $6.20 right now.
I told Mike B, man, he asked me about OMG about a month or so ago, and he did a video on it, and I told him if it breaks $8, I would get out at that point, because just seeing, and the scary thing was if it broke 8 and then it tried to come back up to that support area, but once it broke it, I really didn't know. I need to go back and look. I don't know where the next support line is, because if you go back and look at the charts, that thing just skyrocketed up.
Yeah, it did.
And so I'm, hell, it may be $3, $2. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm up in the air about what to do with that one too, because I went and tried to acquire as much OMG as I could. When
Same here.
Yeah,
and we were up about 45%.
Yeah, I'm down now.
I know.
It's crazy.
I got in at 765, 767, somewhere around there.
Yep.
And yeah, man, but that's hindsight trading. That's hindsight trading.
Exactly.
Because as when we were up almost 50%, I was like, okay, well, we're in a great position. We may see a small 20%, 30% pullback.
Right.
But I'm thinking, we're off to my target was like $22 and some change.
Yeah.
So, but hey, that's, like I said, hindsight trading. Never beat yourself up, people, over looking backwards, because that's you're going to select the most ideal entry and exit position.
Right.
You just have to work on in the future eliminating and taking emotion out of the trades.
Yep. Yeah, and I've gotten to a point where 8 months ago, even if I was to be in the position I'm in now, where I put so much into OMG and now I'm down, I would literally, it would be ruining not just my day, it'd be ruining days. I would be pissed off. It would literally, I've gotten to the point where it's just like, I've been through this so many times now. I'm not worried about it. That was one of the tokens that Cliff, says will outperform price-wise ETH. So in the long term.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly, man. You got to kind of just put the blinders on and focus on your exit strategy. Most people don't have exit strategy. It's easy to pick a spot to get into a position, but it's harder to exit it, because you're already in it and you have emotions attached to that trade. So most people, rarely people get the exit proper, exit out of a position. So
I'm one of those people.
But it takes time though, man. It's not something you learn overnight.
Right.
It takes years to become that discipline to say, okay, this is my target. I'm getting out here and it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah,
I need to start working on that, because most of my holds that I have, and I did just sell off a bunch of alts that I had. Most of them were smaller positions, but I had Status, I had Funfair, a few other things that I sold off and sold into more Pillar. Some of them I took a loss on, so but I think it was the better move. Because I honestly, if you look at Pillar right now, right, and what the price is, they don't even have a product yet, So we've talked about this off camera. Like, once news starts coming out and they put out a version 1 of their wallet, and they have so many things planned for that wallet, and, it's going to be so much more than just a crypto wallet. So, if they can accomplish what they're setting out to accomplish, I think it's going to be huge, and it's a steal to buy in at the price that it's at now. So, that's my feelings on Pillar. So,
yeah, I agree, man. A lot of these ICOs, man, they lack any real business traction.
Right.
And so that's with me, with OMG, that was my whole position in that trade. If it was a technical trade, I would have been out near the tops, where it was. However, I was looking for a fundamental event to occur. It didn't happen, and so my safety net, my backup, was the $8. And I'll have to find that video. It might be he put out. And he mentioned our conversation about that trade. But I said $8. I'm done.
So you did sell out of OMG then?
Yeah, I sold out of most of my OMG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm still holding.
And I didn't get out at $8. I waited, because you have to wait for confirmation. So I was waiting kind of to see if the daily bars or candles on that chart were going to close continue to close below, and it ended up doing that. So I ended up closing out at 760. So I lost a little money, very little, but I did lose a little money.
Yeah. See,
so I'm gonna try to get back in, man.
Yeah. See, now I'm to the point where, you know, I started getting into it around 7 and change also. And then I bought some at 8 and change. I think I even bought a little bit at 9. So I'm to the point now where, you know, like I said, we're down to $6.20. You know, down 12.08% in 24 hours. So I'm to the point now where it's like, well, I've already lost this much. I might as well just hold it. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to take that much of a loss on it. So.
No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. It doesn't exist until you realize those losses or gains.
Right.
So it goes both ways.
Right.
Yep, it doesn't exist until you realize. So.
But going back on the, you know, you talked about the ICOs and you know, let's talk about how the ICO landscape is really changing. When I got into my first ICO, you know, it was a little after you did. What was your first ICO again? You said was it
first
Bancorp?
ICO was Pure Plays.
Okay, how long ago was that?
Back in May.
Okay, so that's probably
Mayish, April, late April, May.
Okay,
yep.
I want to say mine was June.
Okay.
And I don't quite remember exactly. What was my first one?
Yeah, Pure Plays was my first one. And then shortly after that, I got into Mobile Go. That was my second one.
Okay. I tried to get into Status, but it got really, the Ethereum network got really bogged down because of Status. And I had multiple fails trying to get into that, so I just gave up. But anyway, you know, back then, it was a good chance that didn't really matter which ICO you got into, you were going to see some great gains.
Almost a guaranteed 2x.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Almost.
And now we're to the point where it's maybe, I don't even know, 1 out of maybe, I don't know, 15, maybe more. We'll see any kind of gains.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's good. That's good for the market. That's good for the market, and that shows that the IQ of the investors are. What basically what's happening is a network effect. Everyone now understands how this whole game goes, so there aren't any market inefficiencies. No, like when you have stuff like when you get a 2x out the gate, stuff like that, you're selling to the what we call the dumb money. Right. So that's all it is. You're taking advantage of someone else. So now that people the playing field is kind of leveled now, you're not seeing those inefficiencies as much. And I just uploaded, before we started this interview, I just uploaded a video about that and why I went into kind of detail about why and what should happen to bring alpha back into the market.
Okay. Yeah. I'll have to check that out once we finish this up. I believe it is a good thing too, especially because I do feel like we are in an ICO bubble. You know, there's just way too many ICOs that have happened or are going to happen in the near future. And, you know, a lot of these are just, I mean, a ton of them. You just look at them and they're crap. A lot of them, you're right. A lot of them are crap. And then the ones that are good still don't justify raising the amount of money that they're raising. And I talked about that in the video today. Like, a lot of these companies don't even have a beta or an alpha. They may have an MVP, which is like a minimum viable product. They may have like a prototype or something like that, but that doesn't warrant in the real world in investing. Because I've dealt with VCs, sat down with VCs, different firms, angel investors. I've done that whole circuit. That doesn't warrant $5 million in raise cap, in funds being raised, or even $1 million.
if you're at that point in the real world, you're getting like a pre-seed fund, a raise, which is between 50,000 and 120,000 in the Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, because they're in like a bubble. You can get pre-seed rounds up to almost damn near $1 million, but that's out west, man. So just, I mean, in layman's terms, it's out of control, and it's going to pull back. So you're going to you're going to see companies issuing less tokens, and and that hard cap will be way lower.
Right.
That's how you'll get a balancing effect there.
Right. And we talked about, again off camera, there's some diamonds in the rough among the ICOs. And as I am working with Wandex. I'm helping to manage their bounty program, and I had kind of gotten to know when I did the interview with Abhinav, the CEO. I kind of got to talking with him, and so I wanted to help out, and so I am, and and that they had a prototype out before the ICO started. They released a beta right before a day before the ICO started, and they're not looking to raise some obscene amount of money. But it just sucks because that one is a less known.
I actually want to integrate Wandex into one of our the tech startups that we're trying to move over into blockchain. I want to integrate Wandex's API into our system. So it does suck to see stuff like that, but what's going to have to happen is you're going to have like coming into your ICOs, you're going to have some capital for marketing already allocated, 100, 200,000 allocated for that. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And
so it's going to change. We're so early in this, man. Literally, we're just at the infancy stage of this ICO stuff.
I know, and it seems like, to people who've been in this for a while, and I haven't been into cryptos as long as you have, but it seems things happen so much faster in this space. So 6 months seems like 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
It is, man. It is in this space. It really is.
So it's crazy to think that we're in the infancy, because it almost seems like like, oh man, like we're nearing the end of this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but that's not the case, because when you look at how many people, more and more people are starting to hear about Bitcoin. But to most people, that's where it ends. They heard Bitcoin. Where it ends.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah.
But you just did a video yesterday on Centra. The New York Times did the article on Centra. Now, they didn't portray Centra in a really great light, but it still brings altcoins and cryptos in general to the mainstream.
Absolutely.
And, Absolutely. And I had this article that I had brought up that I saw today, and it's 10 surprising celeb Bitcoiners. It was from Cointelegraph. And, I didn't know most of these. Obviously, Floyd Mayweather is number 2. But Ashton Kutcher.
Who's number 1?
Ashton Kutcher.
Really?
Yeah, it says, actor has appeared on Shark Tank, blah, 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 blah. He's the co-founder of BitPay, Investor A-Grade Investments. I've never heard of that.
I've heard of BitPay.
Yeah, I've heard of BitPay. I have a BitPay card, but BitPay Investor A-Grade Investments. I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Okay, it must be a VC, like it's a VC firm or something.
Maybe, yeah. But it says, moreover, he's a poster boy for breaking with convention and the decentralized approach to life. So that's cool. And then you got number 3 is Drew Carey.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Number 4 is The Game.
I knew the game was doing a cannabis one. Yep.
That's another cannabis ones, man. There's so many damn cannabis coins. There's no need for it.
What the hell is the need for a cannabis coin?
I mean, I can understand now because, granted, you may have all these states where legal marijuana, where marijuana is legal, but it's still illegal in the eyes of the feds. So they can't keep their money in banks.
I understand.
I
understand. But there's no need for a marijuana token. All you need is an anonymous anon token like Monero.
This is true.
Zcash.
Right.
If you want to be add anonymity to it, is no real use, in my opinion, for these tokens.
This is true. And when the ICO bubble pops, we're probably going to see all, if not most of them go, along with many, many, many others.
I don't know who said it. I didn't come up with this idea or this thought, but someone said, if you can take the token away from the business and it still runs, there's no need for the token.
Right. And,
so
the token in most cases is just used to raise capital to get the business going,
right.
So they integrate it in and,
right.
But I hear you though.
So that's our challenge with what I'm trying to bring over to the blockchain. How do you here's the thing, man. As we mature in the ICO market and you start to see more and more blockchain startups, it has less to do with, this is a blockchain startup. It has more to do with, am I fundamentally helping make the end user's experience better, irrespective of blockchain?
Right.
It has to be their experience has to be better with blockchain technology versus our traditional platforms that we have. And at the end of the day, that's what it's going to have to come down to if we're going to see wide adoption of a lot of these blockchain startups and their applications. It has to be better than what's out now, irregardless of if it's on blockchain or not. And
unfortunately, to the vast majority of people, decentralization is not a selling point.
It's not at all. It's not at all.
People like you and me, yeah. But,
yep.
The vast majority of people, they don't give a shit if something's decentralized,
You're so right.
Yeah, and
you're right on that one. Bro.
Yeah, and these are all the people who, I don't personally like to keep money in banks. That's just me. So people like you and me who know about the Federal Reserve and fiat money and how it's based on debt,
fractional reserve.
Exactly.
System.
Exactly. That's a selling point to us, but it is what it is. Something will change. It'll change in the future.
Oh yeah, it's happening. It's happening now. You're seeing that in a reflection of post ICO token prices.
Yep. Now I came across this article today, and I never thought of this, and you probably have. I'm surprised I never thought of this. Not to get off topic of ICOs, but
no, it's fine, man. Whatever. We're shooting the breeze.
Yeah. What if Satoshi Nakamoto sold all his Bitcoin today? So, I mean, how many is it said that Satoshi Nakamoto has? A couple million.
It would be worth a few million tokens. It'd be worth about 5 billion today, or 50 billion. I can't remember. I think it's 5 billion. If he sold today, it would be catastrophic to the price.
Right, and that's what the article talks about.
Okay.
And how that's kind of.
I don't even know where he would move that.
Yeah, that volume.
It would have to be off chain. It would have to be kind of like peer to peer. Over the counter.
Right.
OTC.
Yep.
It would have to be OTC. But again, I don't know who the hell Satoshi Nakamoto is. My theory is that it's not one person.
Right.
It's a group. That's just my thought. That's about it. It really doesn't matter either. The only thing that matters is that if he sells. So that kind of would be an inherent, like a risk, a risk that we'll carry going forward. But as more liquidity, more capital comes into Bitcoin, that will be less and less of a factor, right? So if we're at what, 190 and 190 billion market cap.
Right now,
no, for Bitcoin is what,
Bitcoin,
about 100?
Right now is 110.
110.
Yep.
So that's just shy of 5% of the total market cap being sold off. I don't think that'll happen, but I guess what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, when we move from 100 billion to a trillion, that won't be as bad of
much of a factor. Yeah. Yeah. When I read this article, I said, man, I never thought of that. Like, what if that happened? Then my mind starts going with the conspiracies.
Yeah, I never really thought about that either.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think they would he or they would do that.
You would hope not anyway.
Yeah, and it wouldn't really matter, man. It's open source. If it crashes. See, back when I got into Bitcoin, it was this is an experiment.
Yeah.
We don't know if this is going to work, so don't get your hopes up too high. It was one of those types of things. Like, but now we've gone when did 2009 it came out?
Yep.
It started, first node appeared or whatnot. It's a big ass honeypot, and nobody has cracked it yet. So seems pretty secure to me.
And I seen this article, it just came out a little while ago. It said Chinese might be able to trade Bitcoin again soon.
Of course.
Yeah.
I've seen this before.
Yep.
I've seen this before.
That and that was basically called by a couple people. It was they're pretty transparent, with what their intentions are. Well, I shouldn't say transparent, but
you can telegraph them,
right?
You can kind of forecast what they're
doing. It doesn't take a fool to
right.
So, I don't know when that's going to happen, but it will happen. I'm sure it will.
Same thing they did 3 years ago.
Right.
3 years ago.
Spread FUD. Drive prices down.
Many of your viewers may not know this, but kind of off topic. Maybe 4 years ago, when Silk Road went down, they confiscated my man's stuff, and I think it was like $30 million worth of Bitcoin at that time, which was huge.
Yeah.
And the feds actually did an auction, man. They sold those coins to a group of undisclosed individuals in an auction. I don't know if you probably never heard about that.
No.
Yeah, man. Look that up when you get a chance, and you'll see that. I don't know why I brought it up, but I guess it's kind of along the lines of selling a large amount. So they sold to some. I think it was end up being like six different investors or buyers.
Wow.
Over the counter that they sold those coins to.
Below market price?
Yes. Yes, below market price at that time.
Right.
I want to say at that time Bitcoin was maybe at $250, $260, $250, $260, something like that. It made it tumble.
Oh, I'm sure.
It did. It made it tumble. My theories is that I think a lot of that was actually sold to exchanges like Coinbase.
That's and,
some of the other.
You might be right about that. Now, see, I'm sure because it's been talked about, for a couple days now, or a day at least, about the fake gold from Royal, what is it? The Royal Bank of Canada, whatever it is. With the hold on, let me bring it up here.
I didn't hear about this.
Oh, really?
New to me. Yeah.
Yeah. This is it's crazy. Royal Canadian Mint. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the name.
Okay.
It's RCM.
Okay.
So a gentleman went to a bank in Canada and tried to buy some gold bars or a gold bar, and it was literally packaged and serialed and stamped from the Royal Canadian Mint. Turns out it was fake. So
okay, this is not the first I've heard of stuff like this.
Right.
A few years ago, I don't know if you recall, there were some bars in New York that had tanzanium or tunzium. I don't know the metal, but it has the same mass
right
as gold, and they just plated it with gold, and the actual insides were tanzanium or whatever it was.
Okay,
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, but coming from you know, you could see that happening from
Peter Schiff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you know, coming from somewhere like the Royal Canadian Mint, I mean, that is, you know, so I mean, it makes you wonder, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how that happened. Was it intentional? Was it something that got put into circulation that was just because you can go online and buy fake gold that comes in the packaging with serial numbers that say they're from Perth or Royal Canadian Mint or whatever. And it, you know, it's shipped to you right from China. Now, you know, did something like that just get thrown into circulation? I mean, I don't know. But
see, this is the problem with and I know my gold bugs and silver bugs are going to have a problem with me saying this. Not once have you ever heard a person saying, I got a fake Bitcoin.
Right. Yep.
Can't, man. It's mathematically proven. It's tight. It's you know, it's not possible. So these are the types of things, man, and you know, I think gold has had its run. It will be, I mean, it'll be here. It'll be just like, I won't say just like diamonds, because diamonds, I think, is a very risky investment.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother subject. But,
right.
You know, it'll be around. It'll be another asset. But I think it's had its time, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. And it's funny. I'll get into this in a second. A video that my fiance showed me this morning that she found. But my point in bringing this up with the fake gold is, you know, I mean, it's been a pretty big story. So, you know, that things like that, you know, along with, you know, all these celebrities that are now getting into Bitcoin and cryptos in general, this is just going to drive more people right to us. You know, this is what's going to bring this to the mainstream. You know, the gold thing, because I mean, there are multiple reasons, but you know, why, unless you know where you're getting it from, which obviously if you go to a bank, you're expecting that the gold is going to be real.
Absolutely.
You know, but if you can't even trust a bank, well, that's kind of an oxymoron right there. But
yeah.
But you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. Yep.
You know, to give you real gold, then you know that's going to scare certain. I mean, not everybody, but that's going to scare some people away from gold and right into cryptos. You know, granted, cryptos are scary for people who don't know about them, but so my
it's a long tail effect. You know, the masses will be, of course, the last people to adopt cryptocurrencies. Right. That's just how markets and information works when it's disseminated, right, for the most part. So that's cool. I understand that, but yeah, I think these types of events will definitely, at least for the gold bugs, PMs, you know, the PMP people, it should definitely be an eye opener for them.
Right. Now, I don't know about silver, but Bix Weir put out a video. See, all I heard about was this gold bar in Canada, but Bix Weir put out a video and the title was Fake Gold and Silver something. I didn't watch it. I just saw it tweeted out. So, you know, I don't know if they found fake silver as well, but, you know, I don't know. I mean, But going into what I was going to say about the video, my fiance found a video today on her news feed, and she showed it to me. And a woman did a test in New York City. And I don't know how old this video is, but she wanted to find out how hard it would be to use a gold. It was a 100-gram gold bar or 1 Bitcoin to transact for different things in New York City, right? So she went to go.
The outcome of that.
Yeah, exactly. She literally went to a like a fruit stand or a store and tried to buy fruit and pay with a 100-gram gold bar worth, actually at the time of this video, Bitcoin was a little over 4,000. So it was probably maybe, it couldn't have been that long ago. Literally did this. Nobody would take this gold bar. Nobody. Nobody.
No.
She tried to pay for her kids' preschool tuition with the gold bar. He wouldn't take it. So she says, well, do you accept Bitcoin? He goes, yes, we do. So, right? So then she found other things, restaurants that take Bitcoin.
Yep.
But nowhere would take gold. So while gold is a store of value, it's not a means of payment. It's not a
perceived store of value for the masses.
Right.
That's all that matters. It doesn't matter what the real facts are. It's what's perceived.
Right. And then you have, like people have done these social experiments, and I know Mark Dice has done it a lot.
Mark Dice,
I love those videos where he goes out on the boardwalk or goes out in town and tries to sell, a 1 ounce gold coin for literally nothing. I think he even tried trading this 1 ounce gold coin for a candy bar that a girl was eating.
Yeah,
and she wouldn't do it.
I saw that.
I'm like, you idiot! I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I wish somebody come up to me with a 1 ounce gold coin and try to trade it to me for a damn Snickers bar. But that just shows how,
ill-informed the masses are, and that's what I try to tell PM people. Doesn't matter if you're informed about it and you know the true value and how many gold bars or how many Troy ounces the no, it's not ounces, it'd be tons, right? Tonnins or tonnins. How do you pronounce that? Whatever.
Yeah.
How many the United States has, how many, Great Britain had, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. It's what the masses, they brainwash the masses. And so their mission, they've completed that mission successfully. So now they think a $100 bill is worth more than 1 troy ounce of gold.
Right. Right. And I have very, very little gold.
Yeah, I stopped buying. I don't have any gold. I have a decent amount of silver, but I stopped at the moment I bought my first Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I bought silver was less than a year ago, but gold, I don't have more than maybe 5 grams of gold, and that's it, but since I really kind of got into cryptos heavy, it was probably just about a year ago was the last time I bought silver. And I think that is when it actually was about the same time I got into Ethereum, so a little less than a year ago. And ever since I got into Ethereum, I haven't bought another silver round, another bar, another coin, nothing. So and silver, all right, when it comes to precious metals, I definitely like silver better than gold, because now, and this is how I like to look at things, like if we ever saw a breakdown of society or a banking collapse, which would cause a breakdown of society, what are you going to do with a 1 ounce gold bar? I mean, honestly, what are you going to do with that? You going to buy a house with it? Because you're not going to buy, food with it. You know what I mean? Unless you're buying food.
Or if you do, you're gonna trade that for food at such a low exchange rate.
Right.
It isn't even worth you selling it. You're gonna want to keep it. It's gonna hurt your feelings because you're gonna be swapping that for like $20 worth of food.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Whereas silver, like I know in Venezuela, a few months back, I remember reading that 1 ounce of silver in Venezuela bought like 6 months of food for one person. And that's well, actually, I don't know if it was for one person or for a family. It might have been for a family, but you know, silver, especially, you know, and not to get too much into precious metals, but you know, silver is, I don't know, it's more like you have silver. I mean, you have gold, you know, U.S. currency and other countries' currency as well, but you know, like a lot of my silver is in junk silver, like, you know, quarters, you know, quarters, half dollars, and you know, it's more recognizable, you know. But to me, anyway, you are going to be able to, you know, granted, if it kept its value, and you know, most people think that if something like that happens, precious metals are going to go up in price. That, you know, you're going to be able to transact more with silver rather than gold, you know. So, you know, and then it, you know, kind of brings you also, and you've talked about this before, you know, depending on what the situation was, will you be able to use your cryptos? I mean,
probably, well, it just depends, man. I think actually cryptos will have, okay, so if we have a breakdown of society, but we still have like power, electricity and stuff, cryptos I think is a better solution. Yeah. Or a better route to go. Right. However, I personally feel like this is going to sound retarded, but cash, fiat, yes. dollar bills, y'all. Yep. That's gonna be it. If I whip out a $20 bill, everyone here knows what a $20 bill is. We're going to negotiate. We're going to get stuff. You know, we're going to barter and exchange. We're going to use that $20 bill as a medium of exchange. So that's really what it's going to come down to. I remember when we had the blackout in, I think, 2003 on the East Coast. Right. Michigan was one of the states affected. Yep. I think for 2-3 days or something, man. And now, I mean, back then I used to carry cash on me, a decent amount of cash on me. But from that point on, I started carrying way more cash on me. Much more what we call wham, walking around money. Yep. And because I saw what was happening, people didn't know anything about gold and silver. Right. They were taking cash. If you didn't have cash, you were out of luck.
Now that's, you know, in a natural disaster, or you know, a disaster, something like that kind of scenario. But in some kind of banking crash or economic emergency, that's not going to be the case. And you know, again, we look at Venezuela as a test case for that. You know, their currency is not buying nothing. The Bolivar.
Yeah, the Bolivar. Yeah.
It's you know, you're getting very yes, little for that.
I agree with you, Nick, on that one. Yeah, so you know, it's a scenario like Venezuela, Argentina. Those are, you know, silver, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is very valuable in Argentina.
It is, yeah. I've heard that, you know, first of all, it's really rising in popularity down there now, because of this whole thing. And somebody said they're I don't know if the government's trying to crack down on it, and I don't know if they made it illegal to mine Bitcoin down there or something like that. I remember seeing something, but yeah, I mean, it's, you know, there are people who are literally, that's how they're surviving right now, is via Bitcoin. So, you know, if you could just look at that and, you know, if something like that were to ever happen here, times that by, I don't know, 100, and
yeah, it'd be a problem. I agree with you. I think in that scenario, of course, money wouldn't be, because we have a hyperinflation scenario, right, where the dollar would fall in value so much in relation to your goods, and so, you know, your goods. Silver would be a definite backup. and also Bitcoin and cryptos.
Yeah.
But a total natural disaster is, hell, everything is out the door. It's guns and butter. It's guns at that point. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You got to bring those ARs, those AKs or whatever. You know, I'm an AR guy myself.
Yes, sir. Me too.
Yeah, but we got to bring those joints out. So
beans, bullets, and Band-Aids.
There you go.
Yep. So, let's talk about BitPetite. You know, everybody's talking about BitPetite. BitPetite.
What?
Did you see the tweet that I retweeted yesterday? Somebody found the exact form.
The theme.
The form.
I saw that.
Yeah, the form that BitPetite used for their site.
Yeah, the theme, the WordPress theme or whatever. Yeah.
So
I saw that.
It's kind of funny.
It is. I thought that was interesting and entertaining. But the main issue there is it's a pyramid scheme.
Oh yeah,
man.
definitely. Yeah, I mean,
it's a pyramid scheme.
You know, and the only people who make money in pyramid schemes are the people at the top. So
exactly.
You know what people are failing to realize. Yeah, it sounds good in theory. You know, and I've done multi-level marketing. You know, things before, and you know, like when it was presented, I've done it like once, and it was signing people up to buy. I'm not going to name the company, but to buy products. Now I didn't have to sell any products, but it was, you know, signing people up to buy like health and wellness products.
Right.
And you know, and the products were really good, and this company has been around for years, and they have a really good program. You know, but first of all, like, unless you're signing up a ton of people and then they're signing up a ton of people, you're not making any money. So
that's the MLM part, you know.
Right.
That's the MLM, and to me, it's still a Ponzi,
right,
but it's not nefarious with it per se.
Right.
So I give you that. If you into MLMs, fine. I'm just not, man. That's not my style. I just don't. I've never done it. But you know, Ponzi's, that I believe how do you say it? BitPetite?
I think BitPetite. BitPetite. That's how I say it anyway.
BitPetite, whatever. Like appetite.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. BitPetite. That was to me a straight Ponzi.
Yeah.
There was no. What's tumbling? Like, what do you mean tumbling coin? What is that?
Yeah. Did they even explain what it is?
Tumblers have been out, hell, back when I was getting into Bitcoin, it just mixes coins. I mean, from my understanding what tumblers are, it just mixes coins so that you can't find the root address.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's a different definition nowadays, but yeah, man, it's not. It's a straight Ponzi scheme, man.
Right.
And, I blame the people who participated for sure, but also blame the people who really pushed it to the forefront and got a lot of people to sign up.
Right.
And then they lost all their money, but then that individual was able to come home with like 50,000.
Right. It's not ethical.
Scotch
you know
free.
what I mean?
It's not ethical.
It's you know, first of all, unless you are in a position where you have a following of a bunch of people who you can sign up under you, that will have no problem doing it. First of all, you're not going to make any money, but then that puts you in the unethical position. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I mean, I have a conscience. First of all, like I've never been out, and I'm not out to screw anybody. And I would feel like shit about it if I'm getting rich and because everyone else is losing their money. You know what I mean? That's just me.
And,
like I don't.
In a scenario like that, bro, I would be, and it would take some time, but that person, they deserve to waste their time doing this. But I would divvy up that 50,000 that he made in commission I would divvy that up and disperse it back to and those people wouldn't get nowhere near the amount of money they put in, but at least to show, you know, that person has a conscious mind and is not just a greedy person.
Right. Now, I don't know, you know, what the differences are between BitConnect and BitPetite, and I know BitConnect's been around for a while, and you know, you hear people say that it's the same thing, it's a pyramid scheme, it's a Ponzi scheme, but
BitConnect is still a Ponzi MLM scheme. However, I think it's got longer legs, so it will last a lot longer.
Right.
So it's the same concept. It's just going to last longer because it's kind of gotten popular. So it will last for who knows, and a lot of people may actually make a lot of money. But again, I'm not for signing up and then putting a referral link out, because I know I'm putting a referral link out. It's asymmetrical.
Right.
It's not a one-to-one relationship. Me, if I have, I don't know, 100,000 followers, and I put that out, I know I'm going to benefit 100 times, 100x more than the person who signs up under me.
Right. Right, exactly.
I can't roll with that.
Yeah, me neither. And I'm sure you get it all the time too on your videos. I got so many people posting their damn referral links on my videos, and obviously I have it set up to where, you know, I have to approve or deny it, so I just deny them all. But you know, but it's crazy. You know, it's, I don't know. I got a buddy of mine who does, you know, and he tries to portray himself like he's rich and making all this money doing this, but he does this ML. It's a Ponzi, you know, and they sell like energy, not energy, but they sell like communications and energy. They sign people up to switch their cell phones, their electric bill or whatever. And he's got this team, and they, you know, whatever. And he's been doing this for a while, and it's like, it's the same crap. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the more people you sign up, the more money you're gonna make. But then they got to go out, and it's a bunch of garbage, man.
It is the
amount
of energy. In those just traditional MLMs, the amount of energy you put into it, you could have started your own thing and actually given a service, provided a service to someone,
right?
And you know,
or you could have just put your damn money that you were going to put into that into some good assets, and you know, at the right time, and made the same amount of money. You know what I mean? And you got a clear conscience,
right?
So. You know, it is what it is, man. Everybody's, you know, I'm not knocking anybody in particular, but, you know, it just comes down to morals. You know what I mean? Like, where are you at? You know, where are you at with your morals? I mean, because if you're getting rich off other people losing, I mean, what if that was somebody went into that actually believing that, oh man, this is going to save my family from a shitty situation. You know, I'll be able to pay the rent because of this, and then they put their damn rent money into that, thinking that, you know, they're going to be able to pay another few months rent off of that, and then they lose their apartment, lose their place. You know what I mean?
You know, I'm not religious or anything like that anymore, but you know, one thing I do remember is what does it say? Too much is given, much is required. So that's my view on that, man. If you have 100,000 subs, I'm just giving an example. And you have to be very conscious of what you put out, how you put it out.
Right.
And the more you grow, the more you have to be conscious of your words and your actions.
Right.
And it just shows a lack of maturity and wisdom in that particular person.
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, you have that much of a following. You got people that are taking your word as gospel. You know what I mean? They like almost like look up to you and put you on a pedestal. You know, so I don't know, man. That's just me. I'm not, you know, we've talked about this, man. I'm not gonna let, you know, even if I get rich off this, I'd like to think anyway, I'm not gonna let money change me, and you know. But I'm in this to, I want to help my family, and I want to, you know, provide for my family long term with cryptos, but I don't want to hurt or screw anybody else over in the process of doing that. You know, that's not my style.
Right.
So, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm hoping that that pillar goes at least you know, part of the way Cliff says it's gonna go, because you know, I'm gonna retire if that happens.
I'm with you.
Buy that house and that's it. But but yeah, I don't know. Can you think anything else you want to touch on or no?
No, man, I think we covered a lot today, man. I always enjoyed the talks with TruthBlitz.
Likewise,
man, Nick.
likewise.
And yeah, man, it's been a good talk. I like that mug too.
Oh, thanks, man. Oh, yeah, that's my fiance's doing for my birthday. She had that made up for
dope.
me. Yeah,
that's dope.
So
yeah, man, I'm good. If you don't have anything else, I can't think of anything right at the moment. But as we always say, it's an ever-changing community and industry. So I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about at the next video.
Oh, for sure. Of course, that's how it goes.
For sure.
All right, brother. Well, I will. I'll talk to you soon then.
All right, it's your boy CryptoBlood. I'm out. Holla.
See you guys later.